Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, season 13, episodes 13 and 14. I know that 15 came out today, but just give me a second to catch up, y'all. Please. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, hype up the video, and leave a comment down below. So we pick up with the aftermath from the dinner party. All the couples are talking about how crazy it was that Gia and Brooke went on the tirade that they went on the night before, but I will be so honest, yeah? And as much as I gave people their props for speaking up this time compared to the last time when they were at the commitment ceremony, the only reason why this behavior is able to continue is because the room doesn't denounce it enough. You either have to denounce it or ice these people out when they exhibit this kind of behavior so that it doesn't persist. Brooke is feeding off of the energy she gets from people, whether it's pissing you off or whether it's giving you some kind of amusement. So if people are like airing her out, like if you saw how, not airing her out, sorry, just airing her. If you saw how she stopped focusing on Stella because Stella stopped paying attention to her, then she shifted to Alyssa. Alyssa had to do the same thing for her to then shift to Danny. Like, if you either don't give them attention or you all band together and call this behavior out, maybe it will stop. But anyways, apparently Chris had said some crazy things too, and Alyssa says it was directed at her and it was so nasty that it could not be repeated. I don't know. That's interesting. Obviously, we don't get to see everything that goes on at these dinner parties, but I'm hearing a lot of complaints and I'm not seeing a lot of action. That's just my perspective. Then we cut to the whole Gia and Beck of it all. So Beck believes that Gia has inserted herself into her relationship and it is her fault that she and Danny are now at odds.
And I said, how you going? You've ruined my relationship. Brooke said it, told her not to. Brooke said what she said. Now, for some reason, this is all my fault. She's a fool. A total fool.
Gia and Brooke have definitely set out to rock my relationship and they are succeeding. Gia and Brooke have made this up. It's not true. He would never have said that to her, ever.
She was crying that much, she almost made me feel like I was in the wrong. What's all that about? What I need from Beck now is to prove to me that she is ride or die.
What in the telenovela is going on? I know every season has their acting allegations, but this season is just so dramatic. Like, it's a bit OTT. It's a little bit over the top. Respectfully, Beck, I feel like Danny would be the one to blame, if anything, because why give these people any chance to say anything negative about your marriage? And number two, instead of turning yourself into the victim, why not give Beck the reassurance that she's looking for? But instead, Beck is going to find somebody to blame, and right now she's choosing the girls. Should the girls have said what they said? No, but she also asked what Brooke was referring to. You asked. It's like when you go through somebody's phone and you find something that you didn't want to see, but you also went through the phone. Yes, what they did was bad, but like you also went through the phone. I don't know. So, I feel for Beck, kinda. But then I'm also like, number one, your insecurities are just always going to be spewing out of you if they're not going to be checked. And number two, it's up to Danny to give you that reassurance no matter what Gia and Brooke say. So the fact that she wants to blame those women instead of looking deeper at her relationship was an issue to me. But anyways, fast forward to the commitment ceremony. First on the couch is Alyssa and David, and Alyssa says that she is disgusted by the display that happened the night before.
High school, mean girl, energy. I'm pretty disgusted. It was yelling, screaming. Last night was really hurtful. If there was a reason to come at me, but talk to me.
Alyssa, I need to apologise to you how cruel I was to both of you. It wasn't acceptable. It was mean. And I'm really genuinely sorry to you both.
I just am lost for words.
People online have been saying some things about Alyssa, okay? People have been saying she used to be a bully back in high school. She used to be not a nice person, even after high school. We did see Beck say that she does know Alyssa from back home and she's not the fondest of her. So that has been the justification that some people have used to point at Alyssa to say that maybe Alyssa did something. But based on the edit, Alyssa hasn't done anything to receive this kind of vitriol from Gia and Brooke. So off that alone, I don't understand why those girls were acting the way that they acted. I just don't get it. All of a sudden, Beck is like, you know what? I apologize for my behavior. I accept that what I was doing was cruel to you and that I accept that behavior, oh my gosh, is unacceptable. She doesn't necessarily accept the apology. All she says is she's at the point where she doesn't even want to share a table with half the cast. And I can understand that. I surely can. As for their relationship, though, the experts commend them for being a rock for each other, for being a support system for each other. They're glad that David did step up on Alyssa's behalf and that Alyssa was able to focus on her relationship at the end of the day. So, of course, these two decide to stay. Next is Mel and Luke. They obviously have had a 180 in their relationship. They are so much happier. They're not living in the same apartment, but they do have the intention of moving back together, which is good. So they decide to stay. Rebecca and Steve are next. It is clear that their relationship is beyond repair. This man is inconsiderate, selfish, rude, egotistical, stubborn, disrespectful, dismissive. Like, there's so many things we could say about him. He believes that all the onus is on Rebecca, and if there's anything that he is to cop, Rebecca can cop it as well. The experts ask him what he has done to help the relationship. He can't pinpoint anything solid. The experts ask what he did to hurt the relationship. He can't pinpoint anything solid. Okay, just go home at this point. And sure enough, they do decide to leave. Oh, also, he apologized to Alessandra for being dismissive towards her, but did not apologize to Rebecca. Next was Julia and Grayson. She says that she got the urge to kiss Grayson that morning, the morning of the commitment ceremony, which is great and all, but it looks like real soon she's about to twist on him again and be like, I just don't know if it's there for me. Julia, go home. Go home. I thought that because she was bisexual and because we know how these shows go, I thought they were going to lean into painting her as somebody who has a wandering eye, somebody who's like unable to commit to whoever she's with because she is attracted to both genders or whatever. But instead, they've decided to paint her as the non-committal person, which I feel like is just as detrimental when it comes to how you frame people who are like bisexual or pansexual or anything like that. But then also, it doesn't look like Julia is really trying. It doesn't look like she is. And I don't think that she necessarily is trying to send the message that she would rather be partnered with a woman. I think she's just being shown as somebody who's non-committal. So, yeah. Anyways, they do decide to stay though. Steven and Rachel say that Intimacy Week has been really transformative for them. They are excited to see where things go because obviously the romance has been building between them. So obviously they decide to stay. Next on the couch is Gia and Scott. And can you imagine? Gia starts off with an apology.
Firstly, I want to apologise to the entire group. My behaviour was really not okay. Focus on Alyssa and David though. I came at you and I didn't have enough information to go off. I really want you to know that I am genuinely sorry. I'm really happy for you guys. Stella as well, joining in with Brooke and like going over the top. So sorry.
The last thing I would have expected from Gia was an apology, let alone her even distancing herself from Brooke in this apology. So that was... yeah, that came out of left field. I don't fully buy it though, because at the top of the episode, we saw how she was talking about Beck. So she still has that nastiness in her. Then we learn that she and Scott had an argument like a few days ago or something. And she is trying to dismiss her behavior by saying that maybe she was drunk, and Scott was like, no, you said this the next day, you were definitely sober or at least hungover. And he says, she said to me that she could get anybody she wants and she doesn't think that I'm here for the right reasons. I don't put it past her to say something like that. It definitely does sound like something she would say. But yeah, this girl, she just has a nasty part of her. And the interesting thing is, in the next episode, you can see that Scott kind of plays into the nastiness sometimes. So you have to be able to pick a side, Scott. Like, does this behavior bother you, or are you also feeding into this behavior? Because you cannot be upset at this behavior when it's directed at you, but engage in the behavior when it's directed at other people. Either way, these two decide to stay. Oh, another thing is, a way to dismiss her behavior was Gia saying that the reason why she acts the way that she does is because she tends to self-sabotage based on past relationships. There's a difference between self-sabotaging and attacking. You are attacking this man. You are being mean at certain points, it seems, to this man. She also says she shouldn't be vilified for sharing her opinions regarding the other women in the process. There's a difference between opinions and attacking. You can say you're not too fond of certain people, but to tell this person to shut up and this person is a dumb bitch and this person is a that. Like, let's not use these like hot button terms like, oh yeah, I self-sabotage, I'm triggered, oh I have this kind of past, to like separate yourself from the very negative, nasty behavior that is deliberate. All the things that she does to other people is a choice. Beck and Danny are next on the couch, and the way this man has turned himself into a victim is very alarming to me. So he is like, oh no, Gia and Brooke were absolutely lying. Of course, they are going to combat that. In as much as those two women are unreliable sources, a wrong clock is right twice a day. So I'm not ruling it out. I'm not completely ruling it out, but it is weird to me that he is deciding to force Beck to be the one to reconcile, force her to be the one to fix the situation, to be like, yeah, you broke our trust, so it's up to you now to build it. But she already had this insecurity about him having a wandering eye and stuff, so why not step into the role of being that reassurer, being the person who, you know, lets her know that there's nothing to be worried about in their relationship, and to prove that. I get it, it's annoying to constantly have to prove yourself in a relationship, but to now turn it on her to be like, no, I'm the victim here. You need to work back to getting in my good graces. I didn't like that, but they decided to stay. Next was Stella and Philip. They are, you know, they're very happy together. She says that she's falling for him. He says that he's falling for her. She doesn't really accept the apologies from the women. She says that the best apology is change behavior. So until she sees change behavior, she will wait on accepting the apology. But as for their relationship, things are going very well. They stood up for one another, so they decide to stay. And then last on the couch is the Wicked Witch herself, Brooke, and Chris, who the show is trying to make us feel sorry for, but I'm not falling for it. I don't feel sorry for this man.
Before we start, I just want to say I'm extremely sorry for my actions last night. I did take it too far last night. I took it too far and I shouldn't have, so I'm sorry.
Why did you react like that at the dinner party?
There was a lot of things that I was a little bit upset with that had happened. My emotions got the better of me and I came out and attacked. No one's perfect. I know I'm definitely not perfect. So I was like, why did I do that in here?
I believe that Brooke only apologized because, number one, Gia apologized and she knew, damn, if my partner in crime is saying sorry, then I'm probably going to have to say sorry too. And two, she knew that she was going to catch some heat, whether it's the heat from the producers or from the experts or from the public. She knew the heat was coming regardless, right? So she says that she is just really struggling with Chris because there are things that she has seen of him that he needs to work on. Y'all both have things to work on, okay? She's trying to make it seem like the way that he views women is just so nasty, but the way that you treat women is nasty, to the point where Mel had to say, I've never seen a woman so vicious to other women before. And it's true. Why are you like this? Like, she was just so mean, just very mean, very rude, very disrespectful. So as she's getting called out for her behavior, she's like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. And surprise, surprise, she doesn't return. Chris gets up at one point because he's just so emotional that Brooke may have left him alone yet again. And he leaves, which means this couple is obviously not coming back. I don't buy his performance. I don't buy hers either. They are both nasty people, or sorry. They've both exhibited nasty behavior. Okay. And I'm glad that they're gone. I don't feel no sympathy for Chris, respectfully. And Brooke, please stop with all that negativity because you are affecting an innocent child here. Moving on, we meet some new couples, starting with Tyson, who is ex-military and incredibly annoying. And Stephanie, who says that she is a sweetheart, like she's very sensitive, but I'm sorry, based on first impression, it's not given that.
What would be a woke woman for you?
A woman that's a complete feminist. I personally like Trump. I reckon he's doing a great job. I'm not here to look after someone else's kids. Girls' nights every weekend. That ain't for me, and she knows where the door is. I don't want a woman with a high body count. And also, I'd say like a full-blown atheist. I'm not after a girl that has daddy issues.
Okay, what about same-sex marriage?
What bothers me if it gets pushed in my face all the time. What I look for in a partner, ambitious, a go-getter, a woman that's feminine as well.
Like, oh my God, I'm a vegan, I'm a feminist. Don't come at me with your woke shit. It's taken something like Trump to come in and be like, we're putting a stop to this shit.
You're telling me we got rid of Chris to bring back Chris 2.0, somebody who's even worse, somebody who on top of the negativity of it all is misogynistic, is a bigot, is racist, is what, like, oh my days. And yes, I'm saying those things because of what he chooses to align with. It gives racist to me. It gives bigot to me. And I'm not taking it back. I don't care. It also is weird that you are a Trump supporter from Australia. Like, can you focus on your own government? Yeah, don't like him. Not at all. Stephanie, I'm also looking at you sideways because what do you mean? Like, oh, this wokeism. I can't stand people with this wokeism. Like, the both of them. No. Get them off my screen immediately, especially Tyson. I can never understand why somebody is such a contrarian. Like, you hate everything about everything. You have to be the worst person to interact with. I just can't. Anyways, when we cut to the wedding, so the old couples, they get to attend these new weddings, right? You can see that on his side, it's mainly men. Already that's alarming to me because you don't relate with no women in your life. Where are your female relatives? It don't even got to be friends or coworkers. Where are your female relatives? That proves to me how he sees women, to be honest. As soon as Stephanie walks down the aisle, he's like, I can sense that she's woke. From what?
I did get some woke vibes there. You look beautiful, though. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're 30?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm 32.
32? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was hoping to essentially get a wife, maybe in her mid-20s. Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of that.
I'm exceptionally goal-driven and ambitious.
I don't think Tyson wants a career. She did give across masculine energy. I don't need any more masculine energy. I think Steph is single for a reason.
Thankfully, as the episode is going on, Stephanie is redeeming herself more and more. But Tyson, it is just getting worse by the minute. This man is like, him and his entire side, they are all alarmed at the fact that Stephanie is this strong, independent woman. They're like, oh no, why does she have so much drive? Riddle me this. If she is in her 30s, living on her own, how is she supposed to sustain herself with no drive? How? If she was a whatless woman on the street, you probably have a problem with that too. So like, please, make it make sense to me. They're like, oh, she just looks like a boss bitch, and that's too masculine for me. There's somebody named Angel Tanksley, and she was like, there's no amount of masculinity that comes out of me that's gonna make my man feel emasculated. My masculinity pales in comparison to what his quote unquote masculinity is, that I seem feminine no matter how I come across. So respectfully, this gives insecure. This gives egotistical. This gives misogynistic, bigoted, and all the other things. And I just, This man is then going to say, it's a shock to me that she's never been in a relationship now that she's into her 30s. The bigger shock is the fact that you've ever been in a relationship, because how the hell would anybody deal with him? If memory serves me, I think he was only in that relationship for a year. Makes sense. She lasted way longer than I thought. And I think he also said that he had only known the girl for like 30 days in person before they got married, but he's been aware of her for 2 years. I don't know what that means. Maybe it was long distance or something, but no, Tyson, no. Just no. We are being rage baited by him and by the show, because what is his purpose here? So while they're taking photos, this man is going to say, yeah, he really wants to have 5 kids or whatever, right? And she's like, five kids is a lot. Okay, are you going to be like the stay-at-home husband or something? You would think this woman just spit in his face the way that he's so offended.
How can it be? It's only this big. You just got to feed it. You know, take it to the toilet.
Do you want to be house husband?
Hell no. That'd never happen ever.
Yeah.
If I was to be a stay-at-home dad, that's a very feminine role. I don't want someone that's going to bring masculine energy. It's like 2 alpha males sort of colliding. It's going to create a storm.
You do not know the magnitude of having so many children, let alone 1 child. The things that your body goes through, the things that you have to relinquish as a woman, like the mental fortitude you have to raise a child, let alone 5. And the way this man is like, can't be that hard. Or the fact that she would joke about him being a house husband would mean that he might as well just wear a skirt around the house. Just like absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry. The show had no business bringing him on here. And another thing. I have so many things. Oh, guys. I gotta look at Stephanie too. Because this is the big problem that I have with a lot of people, yeah? She started off the show talking about how wokeism is just not for her and she can't stand this feminism movement and all this kind of whatever she was saying, just foolishness. All of a sudden, when things are being pointed at her and her own rights and freedoms are being questioned, now she aligns with things that would be considered woke, yeah? Now she's like, oh, I don't appreciate how he wouldn't see how difficult it is to have children, let alone give birth to 5 kids and what that entails physically, mentally, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, so now that it affects you, it matters. So now that it affects you, it matters. But before it didn't. Interesting. A lot of people do that, whether it's COVID or trans rights or what happens with like immigrants and stuff like that. It does not matter until it affects you. And that's the problem. It shouldn't have to affect you for you to see that it's a problem. You see, get this couple off my screen. Stephanie included. I don't care how much she redeemed herself a little bit at the end. I don't want to see either of them. The next couple is Juliet and Joel. Juliet is fun-loving. She says yes to everything because, well, life is worth living. And you're right, girl. It surely is. And with Joel, he's definitely fun-loving. Maybe just a little bit too much.
Try to live life without any regret. I love to have fun. I love to travel. I want my future husband to be someone who wants to, you know, celebrate that of me.
Like class clown vibes, you know, everybody's favorite guy.
Loud, obnoxious, and immature. I agree with the loud part. Please bring me someone that is boisterous, loud. I see life through the lens of humor.
We can already see that Joel is going to be a problem. This man does not take anything seriously, and if you're unable to read the room, you're going to piss somebody off because to you something's a joke, but to them, it's not a joke. It's very serious. And to make matters worse, this man has recently lost a lot of weight. And it looks like he's one of those people who loses weight and then becomes that nasty person who they once were jealous of or who they once felt ostracized by. You know, a lot of people will say, oh yeah, I was bullied because I was bigger or I was looked down upon because I was bigger. But then once they lose the weight, they become that same bully, as we've seen with Gia, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, and to make matters even worse, okay, the pressure is getting worse. To make matters worse, he's a mama's boy. And the mama seems to be reveling in the fact that he's a mama's boy. But she told on herself, she was like, yeah, he just clings on to me so much. I'm so excited to have somebody else for him to cling on to. So what you're telling me is you didn't do your part as a mama and you're now trying to shift this responsibility to somebody else. Interesting. At the wedding ceremony, a lot of people are side-eyeing Joel, but for the most part, Juliet is loving it.
Jasmine, Princess Jasmine.
Yeah.
I'm a happy boy. Happy boy alert. My first marriage was quite different.
Oh, was it kind of the same vibe, marrying a
No,
stranger?
it was my teddy bear. So you might be wondering, who exactly are you marrying? Who is this perfectly manicured, dapper, suave, undomesticated, uncultured, one-fats Uber driver, now turned model, who says what he thinks and who is unapologetic anytime or any place?
Joel says that people typically don't understand him, and after we see him on screen, we can understand why. But somebody who understands, at least for right now, is Juliet. She says she loves how loud he is. She loves that he comes across as the class clown. She can see that he's goofy and he's a little bit eccentric, but she embraces it. She thinks that he's so attractive, that his lips are luscious. Like, she's really taking it all in. And I will say, like, at this point, he hadn't shown enough alarming behavior to be like, Juliet, are you okay? I could see that she just sees him as somebody who's quirky, and because she also relates with the quirkiness, she's just eating it up, right? Fast forward to the ceremony. You have Gia and Scott who are turning this into a 20 questions game, and I don't think that Joel should have just been quiet, respectfully, because it's not helping. And then his speech didn't help, and then his mother's speech definitely didn't help.
Is Juliet the type that you would desire?
I don't see no plastic in that face.
Wait. What's wrong with plastic in the face?
Just tonight. What's going on?
What's going on here?
One thing about me is that I have an insatiable appetite.
For my wife, yes.
You've actually scored yourself a hygiene-obsessed OCD neat freak.
Joel was dancing to the beat of his own drum, and he turned into a gluttonous pig.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up, because I'll be so honest with you guys, the season is already pissing me off. These two new couples were sent to just boil our blood. Like, what couple can we actually root for on the show, guys? Outside of Philip and what's the name now? Philip and Stella. Maybe even David and Alyssa. Who is there to root for? Who? And then you're gonna bring these two. I don't have words. You're gonna bring these two waste of time couples for what? For what? Anyways, as always, like, comment, share, answer. Like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. This man is insufferable. His mama is even worse. Why would y'all put Juliet through this? Why is Tyson on here? Is this a political stance thing? And they better not try to flip the script that the more he fell for Stephanie, the more his heart changed because love conquers all, and maybe he's now seen the error of his ways. They better not. I'll lose my mind. I will lose my mind. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.